Hi, I am exhausted, but we're gonna do it. You ready? It's time for the October no buy year review. Let's go. But for real, like, how proud am I of myself that I have stuck with this for almost an entire year? Like, we're so close. I'm obviously filming this in November, and I just want to check in with you guys. How many of you are still doing your New Year's resolutions? Do you even remember what your New Year's resolution was? That's what I thought. Let's get cracking. Positive moments. To be honest, there were a lot of positive moments in October. I made another $2,000 payment towards my part of the personal loan. I will be done paying my portion of the personal loan by the end of the year. And that is something I should be very grateful for. That debt bar is dropping so fast on that graph. You guys are just, you're not ready. Yes, I am using business money to drop it, but that's what it's there for. Speaking of the business, I am back to teaching at the Atlanta School of Photography. October, I did have a couple of classes. I picked up a couple of classes and subbed for some people, so that was income again. So not only the shoots that I had already booked, but I was back to teaching, which is wonderful. The business actually had its best month ever. We were solidly in the 5 figures, which feels really good. It's a good benchmark to regularly be hitting. And I've got plans for how to do that for next year so that we can use some of this money not only to advance the business, but also to flow a little bit of that back into our house and into our lives in a thoughtful way. And also, like, with the school, we don't teach classes in December, so that's gonna be, you know, I'm back to making that income and then not making it again in December, but we already have our schedule for January, and I am teaching 3 different classes along with all 3 of the workshops that I've written for them. So January, I mean, alone with the school is gonna be good. Now, on a personal side, positive things that happened, I obviously painted my office and I think it looks great. It's this beautiful blue color. In some lights it looks a little purpley, which I'm not in love with, but eventually I'll be changing a lot of the light that happens in here, so I'm not too worried about it. But it's giving me fantastic Ravenclaw common room vibes. Eventually we'll get this couch recovered. It's gonna be fantastic. I'm seeing the vision. It's coming piece by piece. Let me know what you think, obviously, in the comments. Also, Halloween happened in October. That's my family's like favorite holiday. We go down to Savannah and we hang out with my parents. Yeah, it's a vibe. So Emmett was a gnome. You're welcome. Cutest freaking thing that ever lived. Just experiencing the joy of it. He was walking, he had just really started to learn how to walk, and so he was walking up and down the street, real goofy, like a little gnome, and he was helping pass out candy. It was just the cutest thing. It really warmed my heart. It was a good feeling. But on the personal side, money-wise, we did switch our insurance. So I had mentioned last month that we were going to switch our insurance to find something a little cheaper. So we did switch. My husband spearheaded that. Real proud of him. We switched our car insurance and our home insurance. So yes, we had to like pay another premium payment, but we got a bunch of money back from our previous insurers. So that's good. And I feel like the payment plan, like the way that we have to pay and the regularity of it, is gonna be better for our budget. So before we were paying 2 payments a year, but we were broken up those 2 payments. So we basically had like 4 months in between, but then there was some times where it was just like 2 months in between big payments, and it just didn't make any sense for us. There was no way to regularly regulate it. This new payment, we literally only pay twice a year, and it's less than 1 of the 4 payments we made before. So if you're in doubt about your car insurance or your home insurance, switch it. Oh my God, it's gonna save us a ton of money. So it hasn't like fully kicked in yet in terms of like savings, but I think for 2025, it's gonna make a big difference. So that leads us to the less positive moments, which I try not to dwell on, but here we are. It's a much beloved part of these videos, I'm sure. So remember last month where I said, it's really great, our escrow account had enough money in it to pay our property taxes, and so we didn't have a shortage. Yeah, that's true. What's also true is that our mortgage company also knew that like they didn't tell us to put extra money in there, and so that there was gonna be a shortage if we hadn't taken action. So they are still asking us to pay the shortage amount now so that our mortgage payment doesn't go up for the next year. Tell me why mortgages are the worst, and I'm stuck with the worst mortgage company in the world. If you work for Flagstar Bank, call me. Let's talk about how we can make it better. Did I choose this mortgage company? No, my mortgage was sold to this company. I went with a mortgage company I liked. Oh, have I also mentioned that our oven is from 1971 first, and that there's a piece in it that regulates the temperature. That piece is going bad. That piece is made of mercury. That piece doesn't have a replacement that even exists on eBay, according to our appliance technician. Our oven is also in the wall, and modern ovens won't fit in the hole that our current oven is in, which would mean replacing the cabinetry, which means gutting my kitchen, which means doing a huge house renovation project because a piece that's this big can't be replaced. This makes no sense. Another fun story, a piece that was attaching our washing machine to the water line in the wall exploded, and just water shooting out everywhere, apparently. I was not home when this occurred. My husband was in the bathtub. So then we have that cool problem to mess with. Neither of the shutoffs at our washer work. Dan had to go under the house to turn the water off. I won't even pretend to know why all of these things happen at the same time. Owning a home is stupid. So basically now I'm getting quotes for like giant home renovation projects when I'm literally just trying to get out of debt. And that is insane. Now, neither of these is full-blown problems. I've had multiple people come to us and check these problems out and be like, no, you don't need to replace this immediately. You guys have some time to figure this out. That's great. But it also just kind of adds to the silent to-do list in the back of my head that makes me want to cry, and also causes me to wake up at 4:30 in the morning every day thinking about how I should get up and be one of those 5 a.m. people. But it's also winter and my bed is so warm. But for real though, if this is all that adulthood is, I would like a refund, please, on all of it. Oh, and another fun story, but that's also not fun at all, is for October, I just got a wild hair and decided to actually look at our bank statements, because I'm doing all of these complex spreadsheets and fun charts for you guys, but I was like, let me just like actually see. The reason I don't like bank statements is because they're not from the 1st to the 31st or 30th. Like, they're like this weird grouping of dates. So I don't really like to look at it when it comes to like month in, month out. But I did, just for October, just for fun. And apparently in all of the accounts for October, we spent more than came in for all of the accounts, except for my business account. We did have more money come in than left. Now, this is mostly because of my oversaving. Generally, any sort of extra money that's in the account gets pulled and put into savings accounts. That's truly what I believe to be true. But will this piss Caleb off if and when I go on financial audit? Yeah, I think it will. Yes, because it still shows that we spent more than we made. But the spending in most of those cases is large savings transfers in an attempt to catch up on how far behind we are in terms of emergency fund and retirement. But I think the problem with it is that it doesn't represent good budgeting skills, which we know I'm trying to build. So like the savings transfers plus the spending should equal each other in order to show that you can like budget. Something to try and iron out for next year. But like that's all, that's it. That's just, that's the less positive moments. We don't need to go. Let's go into the goal update, shall we? Alcohol. Dan's boss bought us a bottle of Woodford Reserve. It's my favorite. Yes, it's almost gone. But we didn't buy any alcohol. There was no liquor that was purchased by me. Books, no way Jose. I think I'm done with the habit of purchasing books. Like I think I'm good. I don't think I need to buy books anymore. There are a lot of readers on Book Talk and Bookstagram who claim to be bookworms, but what I think what their hobby actually is purchasing books and the lifestyle of like being a bookstore girly. I don't need that. I don't need that anymore. I feel completely separated from that want. Dan and I are still kind of doing our book club thing. So I read Demon Copperhead a couple of months ago, and he's now listening to it in the car, and he'll come back and talk to me about where he's at, and we'll talk about kind of how we feel about it, because it is kind of like it's a deep book. If you've not read it, I highly recommend it. It can be kind of heavy, but God, it's a beautifully crafted story. It's just great. On our long car trips coming up, because we're traveling for the holidays, we're going to get some audiobooks and kind of do the same thing. I don't know what we're going to do. If you have any recommendations, we love a mystery. I'm reading Cloud Atlas right now, which is a book that Dan bought me like 2 birthdays ago that's just kind of been living in the house. I picked it up a couple of times and tried to read it, but it was very difficult, so I didn't. And now I've got it, and it's one of the most beautifully crafted books I think I've ever read. You know, is the story something that I'm like super attracted to? Not necessarily, but like the way that this world has been built is insane. Clothes. So I did buy clothes for myself and for Emmett. I got a couple of thread up things, snuggly things, warm things for the winter holidays.
I got some cozy stuff, but then I also got a couple of nice warm things for work. I got maybe 7 or 8 pieces for under $50. And then obviously all of Emmett's clothes were secondhand as well. From Once Upon a Child, I got him some pants. We'll talk more about that in baby stuff. But last month I told you how I need a new pair of jeans. I have stopped wearing those jeans because they do have holes in them for realsies in those spots now. Yikes. But I actually went into American Eagle and tried on jeans, and I hated all of them. Hated every single one. So now I think I'm gonna have to go to Madewell, which is insane because they charge like $160 for a pair of jeans. But I will invest because I keep jeans for a million years. But oh my God, I'm gonna have to wait. I'm gonna have to wait till January. Like there's no way I can justify it right now to go and do that. I'm still gonna try to thrift, but like trying to thrift with a baby is like impossible. Furniture and home goods. I can't think of anything that I bought in October, but I'm obviously filming this in November. And I know that just the other day I picked up a table on Marketplace. Did I just not keep very good notes in October? I don't think so. I think we mostly sold stuff. I don't think we bought anything. We're gonna go with we didn't buy anything. We did sell our old bathroom cabinet for 50 bucks. So that was good. A little bit extra cash. Baby stuff. So like I mentioned, I bought clothes for Emmett and I spent, let's see, because I traded in a bunch of stuff, I think I spent a total of like $15 on, oh gosh, 3 or 4 pairs of pants and like 6 or 7 tops. Guys, the math. I don't know why anyone doesn't just buy secondhand kids clothes, especially for someone that little. Food or drink. So we had our 4-year wedding anniversary in October. So Dan took me out to like this lovely restaurant not far from our house. It was like one of the most perfect dining experiences I've ever had. Like I wasn't anxious. The meal was absolutely delicious. The service was fantastic. I'll link the restaurant down below. It was so good. So if you're in the Marietta and Atlanta area, like go check it out. It was delicious. And what made it even better was that my mom sent us money for it so we could leave like a nicer tip. It was great. But we did eat out. But I did do something with food and drink that I'm not particularly stoked about. It was very revealing, but not great. And we're gonna look more closely at it in the graphs. But so remember how last month I said I was gonna try to not eat out on my business cards anymore? Yes, I did that. And I put all of it on my personal cards so that I could really see like, hey, how much am I spending on food? And the answer was too much money on food. If I wanted food while I was out, I put it on the personal debit card. That alone blew my pie chart out of the water. I had no idea I was spending that kind of money. And the thing is, if I had been doing that all year, I think our progress and our charts would have been very different. And I think it might have affected how I went forward in the rest of the year. So that's what we're gonna do for 2025. I guess. It's not going on a credit card. I'm not using my personal credit card anymore. I haven't all year. So it's all money I had, but it doesn't mean that that's any better. It's just not good. So I ate out. Paint and home improvement. Like we've talked about, I painted this room. I did go while Sherwin-Williams was having their big sale at the beginning of October, and the guy had some coupons for me at the store. So that was really helpful. I spent, I think like $113 when I would have spent like $160 on the paint. I bought 2 gallons. And I really only needed like 1.5, but because it was so dark, I was like not just gonna go with 1. It definitely needed to be 2. Okay, so that's the goal update. Now it's time for the debt roundup. Now let's look at some charts. I gotta drink my Diet Coke while I can, while it's not illegal. So what did I spend? Pie chart time, let's go. We get all of the colors this month. So bills, we start at $1,200. Savings was at $267 for some reason. So like my Amex is $250. And I guess the rest of it is what went to Elevest. We have medical because I went to the chiropractor for $40. No one will tell me it's not some of the best money I ever spend. And then I drove to Savannah on my own gas for Halloween. So that was 50 bucks. Which, by the way, Toyota Corolla, I get such good gas mileage. It's fantastic. I can't even wait. My next car will 100% also be a Toyota. Hopefully it'll be a Prius. Or one of the, I think they make a hybrid Corolla now, which would be amazing. I'm not ready to go full electric. What do you think? Hybrids, electrics? I live in Georgia. The infrastructure is just not very good for the full electric, but I'll take a hybrid any day. Anyway, I'm getting off track because I don't want to talk about the BS section. So This was mostly food. It is $291. Almost $300. This is a great experiment, and it showed me just how badly I am hiding my eating out habit in my business money, and we're not doing that. We're not doing that anymore. Can't do it. So that brings my total spend to $1,847. So like not as much as last month, less than last month, even with me completely eating out on my personal accounts. But it is still more than my salary. And you may be saying, Casey, but you usually also make a little bit more than like your monthly $1,700 salary from like selling stuff and extra little bonusy things. So like you're fine, right? No, I am not fine. We have crossed a new line in my history of failure. I've officially spent more than I made out of my personal accounts. And that was for the first time this year. So I'm mortified, obviously, especially as we head into the holidays where I'm going to, of course, be spending money because I'm getting gifts for people. They'll obviously all be secondhand, but I'm thrilled we made it this far before that happened. So officially, I had $1,723.20 come in, and then I had $1,847 go out. So like that, not cute. This graph is no good. I don't like this. So let's look at the line graph that compares month by month by month. So as you can see, medical and gas went up a little bit, nothing crazy, but the BS has been up the last 3 months, and that's not good with my savings not increasing at a reasonable rate. It's definitely going up, but not as fast as I want it to. And bills, yet again, that's kind of evens out depending on the months. Not stoked, not happy. But let's look at something that does make me happy, and that would be our debt savings bar graph. Just look at it. Look at it. That debt is just plummeting with that savings still going up. Minusculely is going. And it would have been higher, but there were some losses in my IRA, like, you know, the market. So as we can see, just these are not numbers that are out there, but Wells Fargo credit card's at 0, Capital One is at 0, medical debt stayed the same. Personal loan went down. I now owe $3,460 on my personal loan stuff. It's gonna be done. I'm so excited it's gonna be done. And then my loan to my father-in-law, the same. So my total debt is $14,407.75. Is it only $4,000 less than what it was in January? Yes. Will it be down another $3,000 minimum by the end of the year? Yes. So I think that will be a really cool thing. The fact that I've been able to pay off basically $7,000 in debt in a year. Caleb says that most of his clients pay down $8,000 in debt in a year. So I'm really excited that I've been able to do that already this year. That's gonna be good. And then the cash, the Fidelity is at $5,900. The Amex is at $5,600. My little investments are at, you know, whatever. But overall, we're at $10,757.79 yet again. Just that incremental. Not as much of an increase as it's been in previous months, but I'm trying not to overspend out of my accounts. And paying down that debt is a big deal. That's less than a $4,000 difference in the cash that I have versus the debt that I owe. And I'm stoked about that. I guess I'm kind of doing the avalanche method. I'm doing my highest interest rate because the other two debts that I have don't have an interest rate. And that seems to be really exciting for me because now that I know that like once that is done, I can start paying my father-in-law back, which is gonna be fantastic. And we're gonna knock that out of the park real quick. Like that's gonna be easy peasy stuff. And then either negotiate the medical bill or just, who knows, I might just leave it forever and ever, amen, whatever, it's fine. But that's super encouraging to me. And then like our household difference, I don't show you guys this side because I don't want to blast Dan stuff online, but this is something that I think is really important, is that this line graph shows our household debt versus savings. And this has made massive changes. So like it's more than $20,000 in change from debt to savings. And I'm so proud of us. Could we do more? Absolutely. Would I like some other input on plans in order to do more? Yes. But I think for two people who are like, we never learned how to budget, we've never really had secure incomes where other people were paying into retirement for us, we've never had regular sources of income, we've always had to kind of gig economy cobble together a way of life. But now that we have a kid, now that we have a house, now that I've got this business that's really professionalizing itself, this stuff is important. Like, we have to know how to do this stuff. I'm just so proud. I'm just so proud of us. Anyway, there you go. So what are my next month's goals? So November. God, November and December are gonna be hard because of the holidays. So not only do we have lots of travel because we go north to Ohio for Thanksgiving, but we also have Dan's birthday, we have my birthday, and we have Christmas. Now, we aren't doing anything big. We're just having a little pizza, a little beer here at the house for his birthday. But I did splurge a little bit on his gift. I was able to do it. I paid for it in cash. It was in the budget. But it's gonna blow the BS category out of the water for November. Sorry about it, not sorry. And then we spend most of our money on gifts in November. I don't do a lot of Christmas shopping in December. I try to get it all done in November because there's usually so many parties and I've got all sorts of events and stuff that I'm doing in December. So I try to get most of it done in November. And so that's gonna hurt our spending categories. It's just gonna be more money going out. And how do I make up for that with money coming in? I don't know if I can. So then your thought is, well, did you save all year for Christmas, Casey? No, I didn't, because I was doing other stuff, like making these videos for y'all. And for me, let's be honest. But I've got a holiday budget, got a spreadsheet, fingers crossed. My main goal is to hang the fuck in there. Just hang in there. We're so close to the end of the year, y'all. We're so close. And this week has felt like a Herculean task to get through. Is anyone else struggling to survive? Is it just me? No? Okay. But I am still attempting to just get through it, and I'm almost done. And then my thought is, well, am I almost done though? Because my plan for next year is to do a YouTube video every week, and 1 week of every month to be like an update on where we are at with the money. And so like, am I almost done? Doesn't sound like it. But the no buy year experiment is almost done. And I think that it has led us into like a really cool way of changing the way we think about buying things. And that's what I wanted. That is exactly what the point of this was. And as I start to cobble together our no buy year review, like of the whole entire year, that's what I'm hanging on to. Is like, okay, what has changed since we started this? A lot. So I'm just gonna do my darndest to get it done. So I hope y'all enjoyed this October wrap up. This is a lot. This is a lot to get through. It's a lot on me. It's a lot on you guys. Proud of you for sticking through and coming back and hanging out with me on my bird couch. And you might be like, Casey, why are you even doing this? And just as a reminder, I guess what I'm hoping is that someone who is also in a little bit of a mess somehow will get the courage to look at this and say, you know what? If she can do it, if she can kind of put some guardrails on her life, maybe I can too. Or maybe I can at least open my bank statement and see if I'm spending more than I'm making. I didn't even think I was in that much of a mess. I really did think, oh, it's not so bad. But it had the capability to get a lot worse. And so stopping it now, while our son is young, while we're still young, and we're not so set in our ways, I think it's gonna make all the difference. So good luck with the holidays. See you in December. Oh my God, October's over. And so is the election. Oh God. I can do it. We can do it. I gotta keep going. We gotta keep going.